Hello, hello, hello. Angel here. Welcome back to the space. Lovely to see you here one more time. So I've got my cup of coffee. I'm feeling in a bit of a chatty mood, and I'm feeling a bit of a second-hand pre-loved deck haul kind of mood. And this has been brought upon by the fact that I have had quite a few second-hand decks come into my collection in the last week. 6, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, now have been basically inspired as well by Dilly from Dragonfly Dilly and their purchases from Vinted. Now, you know me, I love a good second-hand pre-loved deck. I love getting my hands on those beauties. And when I saw a couple of videos of the Dillys where they were talking about their Vinted finds, I was like, oh, I should get myself on Vinted. Well, you know how that goes. I think I'm going to be cutting myself off very soon. Not today, obviously, but very soon when you see the deck haul that I've gotten in. So much babbling. We're going to be chatting some more through the video anyway. So should we look at the first deck? Why not? Let's get into it. Now, you've actually seen the first deck I'm going to show you. This is a deck that I showed in my August Decks Intentions, possibly. Dream Song Oracle, written by Angie Sullins, artwork by Marta Orlowska, I want to say the name is. I hope I haven't butchered that. This is the mass market deck. I do have a couple of Angie Sullins decks, and I get on with all of them apart from one, which is Woman in Total Control of Herself, the Witch Oracle, I think it's called. I just have not. We're just not friends, me and that deck. But you know, it's away for now on my Oracle shelf, and I will probably bring it out again at some point. This deck, however, this is my friend. We are friends. It's a friend that's they're a bit strange, and sometimes I look at them and I think, I don't understand you. I'm not really sure where you're coming from, but I like you anyway, and that's good. I think in some ways, I think it's good when decks make me feel a little bit uncomfortable. The artwork makes me feel a little bit, a bit unsure, and I think that's good. I think the intrigue and the interest that sparks within me is a good thing. This deck I'm using currently this month with the Hush Tarot, and I'm using this deck in combination with my Inner Mausoleum landscape work, which I think works really well because this feels quite dark. It feels a little bit gothic to me as well, I've got to say, and I think it feels a bit bizarre. It's got a bit of Alice in Wonderland or Alice down the rabbit hole kind of vibe. It's a bit quirky. It's a bit strange. I'm a bit unsure about it, but I like it. That's intriguing me. I like it for that reason. Should I be a bit of a rebel and pair it with the you've seen this, I'm sure you've seen this, with the Hush Tarot. I've made this into an oracle, actually, to be quite honest, because I didn't get on with it. And this deck together have been like boom, 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 shaking the room. Oh, I like that. That's a new catchphrase. I love this. I've also I had a bit of a check-in with my deity a couple of days ago, I think it was, and the message that came through to me was to look to animals for guidance. So I've been really paying more attention to animals in decks and even animals when I'm out in nature. I'm on my walks and what's the word? Like walking to work and things like that. So I've been really thinking about, the animals that I'm seeing around me and what it could mean to me. Not that everything's a sign, I'm not saying that, but it's just kind of opened my eyes a bit more. And a couple of other animal decks have actually come into my rotation this month because of that, which is really fun because I don't tend to use animal decks so often. So yes, really enjoying this one. It's a little bit quirky, it's a little bit strange, and for that reason I really like it. I like strange, I like squirky. Squirky? I like squirky. I've created a new word. I was thinking of, is it Lydia from Beetlejuice? I too am strange and unusual. So I think that's probably why I like this deck. It's a little bit strange and a bit unusual. The guidebook. I like the guidebook. I like Angie Sullins' writing. Apart from that one deck I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of that one. I love the quote on the back. When I read it, it says, "Banish not enough from your vocabulary. You have always been enough. You deserve all the love you keep trying to give everyone else. Listen to the dream song of your soul. Let it remind you of who you really are." Oh, I really like that. That just hits the spot for this month's theme for me. So yes, this was the first Vinted deck, and because of this deck, I felt very encouraged to purchase the next one. Okay, so before we continue, let's just have a sip of coffee. Now, I don't know about you, but you might not I don't know if have you used Vinted? Let me know in the comment section if you have. That was my first deck I purchased from Vinted, and I know that Dilly mentioned that they had have had a very positive experience on Vinted, but I don't know if you're the same. But when I think eBay feels to me quite quite credible because I've used it quite a lot and I've had a really good experience with eBay. And Vinted I was still a bit nervous about because you're paying up front and hoping that you're going to get the product in your post box. This was the next deck I purchased. Another excellent experience. I've had only positive experiences so far, and fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'm knocking on my head right now, that will continue. So this was on my wish list. Be Not Afraid, a deck of biblically accurate angels and celestial magic. This is a mass market deck by Jennifer Sedini, I want to say. This is the information if you'd like to look, and this is the back if you'd like to read. Now, I think I saw this one when it was on pre-order. I didn't pre-order it. Nice box. And then I think I saw it on Sarah from Cedar Moon Witch's channel, I think. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, and it went onto my wish list. And what I tend to do is, I don't know if I mentioned this, I tend to put the decks that I really am interested in purchasing on my Amazon wish list. Not because I buy everything from Amazon, but I just think it's a really a good way to keep track of the decks that the mass market decks that I want to invest in the future. This is really nice cardstock, I've got to say, and it's like quite bendy. I did show the backs, didn't I? I think I did. I think these are really beautiful, and the artwork really intrigues me. Now, if you've been following me for a wee while, you know that I was doing a bit of an exploration into, or am doing, should I say, a bit of an exploration into the Tree of Life, into Lucifer. Been looking into the Goetia and angels, and yeah, I also purchased the Occult Tarot and the Angel Tarot, so I've been kind of doing some research, and I even have the Gustav Dora Tarot, I think it's called. And so this, like, there's this undercurrent in my practice, or has been for the past few months, and this whole, being a devil year, I've kind of got into exploring and looking into Lucifer. And so there is this red thread running through the whole thing, I think. And my most recent exploration is into the Tree of Life. So anyway, that's kind of, a bit by the by. But I just want to give a bit of backstory on what made me kind of purchase this deck, because I think it follows this red thread, I feel, that's running through my practice, this undercurrent. Yeah, now I think I got this in on Monday. I've only done one card draw with it, which was this card. I got the Watcher, which I'm going to give you a bit of an insight into the guidebook in a wee second. This just really intrigues me. I think the artwork is beautiful. Yeah, I think it's just nom nom nom. And I like it that you've got I'm going to say the name of the angel. I'm sorry if that's incorrect. We've got the number, we've got Raphael, we've got Heal and Reveal. And let me look at this. Lucifer. Oh, Chef's Kiss with the Morning Star. I blooming love that. And this is really beautiful as well. I'm not going to try and attempt to pronounce that. But I'm going to give you a bit of insight into, let's do that. And let's leave Lucifer there because that's just beautiful. Card number 43, The Watchers. This is the guidebook, which is quite a chunky monkey, actually. And I like it that you've got like this black paper, you've got black and you've got like blue, and you've got this like slightly lilac going on in the book. I think it's really nice, really nicely produced. And I don't feel this is a very old deck. I think this has come out recently. So I was a little bit surprised to see it on Vinted, if I'm going to be honest. But I'm happy. I'm happy, very happy to have found it. Let's look at 43. Here we go. We've got a full-sized image, which I like nowadays. Didn't used to think about it, But I do like that. It gives you a bit of an opportunity to see some details if you miss them. Not so much this artwork, but my eyes are getting old, so it suits me perfectly. Then we've got the name of the card, which is the Watchers. We've got the number. We've got Fallen Angel, which I think is it just totally hits the nail on the head for the things that I'm working with currently. And this is the card that I pulled once I'd shuffled the deck and asked what the deck had for me as a message. We've got the Books of Enoch, Fifth Heaven, Grigori, I hope I'm saying that correctly, Renegade Redemption. So we've got a bit of a, dare I say, backstory or mythology about what this is all about, what the watch is all about. It continues onto this page. Let me just flip the page here for you. I love the white text on the black, and I love this border. I think that's beautiful. And then we've got like a bit of magic here. So I'm just going to go into. It also mentions William Blake in this card as well, which I thought was really apt because I fell down a rabbit hole with William Blake recently as well, in connection with the Novice Witch's Oracle. Oh my goodness me, so many red threads running through my practice at the moment. And can I just read this to you as well? The roads of excess leads to the palace of wisdom, which was a quote by William Blake. Let the fallen angel remind us of the value in mistakes and the eventual illumination that our errors can reveal. That, honestly, if that doesn't hit the nail on the head for what I've been working with this week, with my dark passenger in a child work, I don't know what does. I've been trying to look at this shadow side of myself, and yeah, I'm going to go into a different video, but let me just tell you, when I pulled this card, it so resonated for me. So we've got the magic as well, which I think is really apt. I'm going to read this to you, taking in mind that I am currently looking into the Tree of Life. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this correctly, but I'm going to say it anyway. Dat, which is a hidden Zephyra on the Tree of Life, is considered the prism of knowledge, the sphere where it is no ledge or limitations, where the reflection of our true self will be revealed. Close your eyes and imagine the void of space, black, quiet, infinite. Amid the space, picture a bubble in the shape of a perfect sphere, a translucent, shimmering, round prism. When you see this, ask to be shown how excess has led to wisdom on your path and how you can filter mistakes into meaning. The message may be abstract or may come through as a collage of consciousness, but take note of the impressions received and how witnessing this insight through this sphere of knowledge can help you see light even through the void. When you are ready, imagine the bubble popping and all of the energies it held fusing into your cells, integrating the intelligence of spirit. Open your eyes and record all impressions. I thought it was beautiful. I like that there's a bit of magic going on there as well. Cannot wait to be diving into this one. I think this is going to go hand in hand with my Tree of Life work. So many threads. I do sometimes feel a bit overwhelmed. I think I mentioned that in June. I had this paralysis, this practice overwhelm paralysis. There was so much. It was like a tree. Like these are the branches leading off like this. And I wanted to do all of it. And I just did not know what to do. And I did nothing. It was almost like not literally, but like, theoretically, I kind of just sat down, folded my legs, and I was like, crossed my legs, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Don't know what to choose, don't know what to go, don't know what to, where to start. But I think I've learnt recently that it doesn't matter what I start with, it will always be the right thing to where I'm supposed to be on my path at this exact moment. Just a bit of a tip. Okay, so that was that deck. Excellent experience, lovely seller, fantastic condition. It wasn't a bootleg copy, which I've got to say I was slightly nervous about, purchasing from Vinted, because, for instance, eBay, you might have run into this yourself. There are a lot of bootleg copies, which make me so annoyed, so frustrated, and it makes me so annoyed that people are selling, even if they know themselves they're bootleg copies and they've purchased them mistakenly themselves. I don't think they should be forwarded to other people, in my humble opinion. That's just my opinion. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, the next deck, let's get into it. So the next deck was the Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. 52 cards. This is a deck to discover the landscape of your soul. I mean, this is a bit apt, I feel. This has been out for quite a while, and this has definitely been in my Amazon cart for a long time. It's been, or my wish list, should I say, and it's kind of, it's always been pushed down for some reason. So when I saw this on Vinted, I was like, oh, I'm going to push the buy button. I'm going to do it. And it was a really, really excellent price, mass market deck. I think you've probably seen this one. It's not new by any means. These are the backs. They're not edged, and I don't think I will edge them myself. I like this border going on. I don't tend to be a borders kind of person, but this to me almost speaks to like this window or a portal almost. So I feel I could like path work with these kind of cards or meditate with them. I think the artwork is stunning. I love dolphins. Dolphins speak to me of my inner child. Not my frightened inner child, my inner child that's happy and at peace and playful, and yeah, that's what dolphins speak to me of. Anyway, love the artwork. It feels a bit, this deck feels airy to me. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but it does feel a bit airy to me. I haven't started using it yet. I think I got it, did I get it on Tuesday? I got it when I got back from work, and I was like, oh, a pretty to open after work. I'm so happy. Can I just tell you, just, you know, as a bit of a you know, just a bit of a chat, I'm currently on a week off, or I've actually got about 9 days off, which I'm so happy about. I'm the last person in the workforce, should I say, that's taking holiday. And when I go back, we are full speed ahead into the autumn schedule. And autumn and winter and early spring actually is like our busiest time. Look at this, this is beautiful. So this is, I chose this week to kind of recharge my batteries, and it's worked out exceptionally well, because now I've got a whole group of new decks that I can, you know, delve into, which of course is not going to happen because, you know, I'm busy and I'm full speed ahead with my Dark Passenger inner child work. Does this not look like the kind of artwork that's from that, I think the deck's called Map of Wisdom Oracle. I think it's a what's the name, Colette Baron Reed deck. I'm sure this image is from that deck, or that image is from this deck. I don't know. This is beautiful. This is absolutely stunning. I'm going to give you a bit of an insight to the guidebook, shall I? Because I haven't looked at it yet. And can I just say, this guidebook is like warm. It's like warm leather, you know, when it just like falls apart. Oh, it's just, I love a good old warm book that's not, it's not falling apart, but it's been well loved and well used. I love that. Okay, sorry. We're going for courage. There's no numbers. We're just looking at alphabetical order in the book. We've got the title, we've got a little black and white image, we've got rocky seashore. This is beautiful with all the waves crashing up, and do you see this like background going on here? Look at this with the colours, and it looks like a map on the skyline. Ooh, it's gorgeous. So we've got a bit of an explanation of what the rocky shoreline means, and then we've got the sacred landscape wants you to know. May I read that? Can I be so bold? Enjoy the artwork while I read to you. The sacred landscape wants you to know. Step forward, throw your shoulders back, and stand up for yourself with passion. Speak up for those less fortunate. Be impeccable in all your actions. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Don't be limited by the beliefs of others. Use your passion to make a difference. Courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. Fearless means fear less. Ooh, boom. Acknowledge your fear and take action anyway. Make a stand. You are strong and powerful and have great valor within you. Oh, love that. I'm totally going to accept that message. I like that a lot. So yeah, looking forward to getting to this one, and I'm looking forward to kind of using it, I think, more maybe meditation. I just think the images kind of lend themselves to that for me. Oh, love, 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 love. Okay, let's move on to the next deck. Now, if you told me 6 months ago that I'd be purchasing a second copy of the deck I'm going to show you next, I would have laughed in your face. I'm talking about the Thoth Tarot, obviously. This was another second-hand find. Preloved, very, very, very much on Preloved deck. On Vinted, obviously. The book came with it. This is a Swedish version of the Tarot, the Soul's Mirror, which is by Gerd Ziegler, I want to say. Can I just show you? I don't know if you can see that. Can you see how grubby that book, how loved this book is? It's been like flipped through goodness knows how many times. Can you see that just there? And the cards were also very grubby when I got them, which I didn't mind. This was for a few pennies. This is a Swedish copy of this deck. You know the backs of this deck, don't you? And they had a bit of a bow when they came, and the cards were really, really grubby. And when I got them, I really wanted to edge this second copy. Before I got it in my hand, I wanted to edge these in hot pink. And when I got this deck in my hand, I was like, these need to be edged in fiery red, because that's just the vibe that this version of this deck gave me. I'm going to say 6 months ago, and previous to that, this deck was on an unreachable pedestal for me. I could never see myself working with this deck. It intimidated me. It just felt really totally above my head. And then it's got to be like 3 months ago, 4 months ago, I don't know, what is time in my practice, I fell down a rabbit hole with the lust card. And since then, this blockage that I felt for the artwork and for this deck has completely, I'm going to say, gone up in flames. It's or evaporated. It's totally disappeared. And I think it's this red thread again. I'm looking into the Tree of Life. I'm looking into the angels, the demons, the Thoth, Aleister Crowley, the Lust card, the Red Goddess, Babylon Scarlet Woman, and I just think it's all. I love this. It's all like interlocking. Oh, it's just scrumminess. Now I know you've seen the Thoth. So I'm not going to show you more, but I'm just going to tell you, I love this deck. And generally, when new decks come into my collection, or anything secondhand comes into my collection, cleanse it. I haven't done that with this deck, because this deck feels to me like it's got a really amazing energy. And I don't know why, but I feel that this deck was owned by an older lady, and I don't read reversals. And when I got this deck, the deck was out of, it wasn't in order. So I put it back in order, edged it, obviously, in red, because I think it's amazing. And then I shuffled it, and then I shuffled it again. And when I went through was going to pull a card, I had a reversal, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I don't read reversals. What's that all about? And sorry, did I mention that the cards were not in order and they were reversed and all higgledy-piggledy? Because obviously I'm assuming the person that had this deck for me read reversals. That's my point I was trying to make badly. And when I had shuffled the deck and was pulling a card, the card came out in a reverse position. I was like, oh, what's that all about? Why is that reversed? And then I looked through the deck, and pretty much every other card was reversed. And I was like, well, how have I managed to do that? I've never ever made that mistake of shuffling reversals into my decks. So we should see if that happens again. But I do feel the energy of the previous owner in this deck, and I love it. I really, really, really like it a lot. And I think I'm going to be using this deck instead of my cut down study deck, because this to me feels warmer, or just more approachable, or I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just got a really nice energy. This is a Swedish deck. It's in Swedish. The titles are in Swedish. Yeah, and my let me just grab my study deck and I'll show you. Yeah, if you've been following me for a while, you'll have seen this one. This is the study deck, which I put in this bag to make it more accessible to me and to feel a bit less on a pedestal. And when I first got it, I cut the not obviously, but I cut the borders off to make me feel like I could kind of make a better connection with it and to imbue my energy. So the titles are still on here, and the borders are gone. But I don't know, this one just feels, it just feels warmer. It just feels more welcoming or something. I don't know, I can't explain it. It's very bizarre. And I'm going to stop on that card because that's blooming gorgeous. So maybe, I don't think there's any, I think I'm going to use both, because this is going to be great to have still in order for a study deck, and this I can actually use. And initially, when I first got the Thoth deck, I didn't like the borders, but now I really like it and I like the artwork. Isn't it strange how our tastes change as our practice develops? Very interesting, I think. And now I'm even thinking about, because I used this one in black, I think I'm going to chop off a tiny bit more, and I think I'm going to edge it in hot pink. Because I'm a bit of a rebel like that, but watch this space. I might get to that at some point in the future. Let's move on to the next deck. So this is the deck that pretty much sparked this video. This is the Tisma Tarot. I'm not going to try and butcher this name, so I shall show you this. And this was another Vinted find, and I went and collected this from the post office today. So this is kind of the deck that sparked this video. I thought, oh, I'm going to do a bit of a haul, and I was kind of thinking about opening this on camera, and then I thought, nah, I'm going to do that off camera because then I can really focus and enjoy. I've seen this deck quite a lot, and I absolutely adore the style. I love the collage. I love the backs. I think they're gorgeous. But I never I never thought I'd be able to get my hands on it. These are the edges, edged in edged in gold, and they have taken a bit of a battering because this is a pre-loved deck, but that's all good for me. It came with a guidebook, which I haven't looked at yet, but I have looked at the cards. It comes with 2 title cards, so we've got this one and this one, which I think are fabulous. And yeah, I have seen the Talisma. Is it called Talisma or Telesma? I'm not sure. Apologies. I have seen this one on YouTube previously, and I just thought I'm never going to get my hands on that, so there's no point even looking. And I got it for an amazing price. Was I slightly nervous? I was, if I'm going to be honest. I was slightly nervous by the fact that, you know, it was more than a mass market deck cost wise, and you know, am I going to see a package? And I did. I got this one from Finland. The lovely seller sent it to me in excellent time. You know, and it arrived promptly, which I'm very, very happy about. This is, what's the word, Thoth inspired. So we've got force at number 11 instead of strength at number 8. That was also something that really, you know, piqued my interest, you know, especially because I'm looking into or getting more into Thoth. There are some cards I'm not going to show you because I don't want to be flagged by the tube. I'm not going to show you that one. I might show you this one. And this one, to me, feels very fiery. It feels a bit of a mixture of fire and air. And I was thinking when I first saw it on Vinted, I was like, I looked at it and then clicked away, and I was like, but you do have the Ritual Tarot. But the Ritual Tarot for me it feels quite grounded, whereas this one feels more fiery or more air-like. It feels more, you know, above, and the Ritual Tarot feels more below for me. Does that make sense? So my plan is actually, to be honest, I mean, you know, don't take my word as gospel here because I haven't worked this deck, but I'm thinking of working with both those decks together and maybe like working with not as above so below reading, but in some kind of connection there, with this one being more fire or earth, airy, and the Ritual Tarot feeling more grounded and more earthy. And so I'm thinking of maybe combining those 2 decks together. There's a lot going on in this imagery, I understand that. And in some ways I think it kind of reminds me a little bit, although not, of the Voyager Tarot maybe. I do have the Voyager Tarot. Yeah. I'm not going to go through all the cards, but I mean, look at this. Look at this. Oh, yummy scrummy. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to show you a few last ones. I love this one. And I'm going to show you this card as well. Where's it gone? It is the King of Coins. This really reminds me of just a quick flick. Just take a really quick look and then look away. Roger Moore. Is it not? From James Bond. It does it not? I'm going to pop it there so you can look at it properly. But I saw that and I was like, oh, it looks like Roger Moore from James Bond. I love James Bond. That's a little bit of a, you know, a unique insight into me too. I love me some Bond, James Bond. Love it. So yes, so this was a how do you say that? Pièce de résistance? I don't know if I've said that correctly, but I was just so impressed when I got my hands on it. I'm going to show you that one. We're not going any further. So looking very, very forward. Very, very, very forward. Very forward. That doesn't make any sense. Looking forward to getting into this one and combining it with the Ritual Tarot. Dare I be as bold as to look at the King of Wands? Old Roger Moore there. So we've got the nice guidebook here. And again, it's quite soft. It feels like it's been used, but the deck, well, obviously the deck has been used, so maybe that's why. Okay, let's look at the King and let's see what we've got here. Last page, we've got Prince of the Chariot of Earth. That's interesting as well. I'm having a bit of a moment with the Chariot card. I'm going to go more into that in another video. But Heir of Earth, the Boss. Good mind for business, steady, prudent, common sense, apt manager, authority, has put in time at work, stability and growth, wealthy person, the health and fertility of the land, professionalism, worldly accomplishment, pride, and a job well done. So we've got more like points than like a meaning in the guidebook, but that's fine. You know, I think there's a lot going on here to pull from. Is that a polecat? What kind of animal is that? Please write your thoughts in the in the comment section. moving on swiftly. So the last two decks I'm going to show together are decks that I found on eBay and my online super duper shop that I browse now and again. This was the one that I found online. This was the one that I found on eBay. These were both mass market decks, and I think, I don't know if I'm correct in saying this, that both are out of print. I think, I'm not sure. This I got at a great price. It was about £8.50, £9, something like that. And this one was £12, £13, something like that. And I didn't purchase them, I didn't get them because I thought, oh, they're out of print, I want them. But that something appealed to me out of both the decks I'm going to show you. Both boxes are really, really beaten up, but this deck specifically, I think, is brand new. The box has taken a real beating, like it's been in, you know, on travel, you know, on what's the word? It's been, you know, moved about from pillar to post. But the guidebook, it doesn't even look like it's ever been touched. This is a deck from, is it 1997? No, it's from 2007, sorry. This is the guidebook. It's been a bit creased in the box, but the cards are like brand new. So it's like really bizarre. Yeah, so I looked this up on, I researched it when I saw the actual deck. I wanted to see what the images were, and I looked the images up and they really, really intrigued me. This is the Gendron, or the Gendron Tarot by Melanie Gendron, or Gendron, sorry for saying the name incorrectly if I have. This was by US Games. This was by AGM. Yeah. This box also taken a bit of a beating. Somebody's written a name on it, Sophia. And the actual cards are in fantastic condition. Again, the book doesn't look like it's been used. This is from, I want to say 1997. Am I correct in saying that? I can't find the date on it, which is typical. I think it's 1997. If I'm incorrect, I'll put the name on the year on the screen. These are the backs. Did I show you the backs of these ones? Beautiful, both decks, in amazing condition. And we've got a bit of a 90s collage feel going on here. And this deck really intrigues me. So like some of the images are, I'm going to start flipping the cards, you can see. Some of the images are like the illustrations by the actual creator, plus some like collage going on in them as well. And this just feels like well, pretty much the same really. You know, you've got this illustration style going on and this collage in the background as well in some of the cards. I think both of them are really, 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 really beautiful in their own right. And I just want to show you some of the illustrations here appear in the other cards. So for instance, this is the illustration from the World card, which then shows up in the Five of Pentacles through the snow. Beautiful. Love this. And I mean, you know, you've got the fish, you've got the knight, sorry, on the fish. I just think it's really cute, and I quite like it that it's got like this fae vibe going on as well, which a little bit reminds me of, I feel this might sound a bit strange as well, a bit of a nudge to the Hush Tarot, because the Hush Tarot is also, it's not feeling exactly fae to me, but it's feeling a bit, what am I trying to say here? Angel, what are you trying to say? Oh, I'm gonna give up with that explanation. Sorry. Cut. Forget I said anything. Love this Chariot card. Having a real major love affair with the Chariot card at the moment. But isn't the artwork just really intriguing? I mean, this is beautiful. And I'm going to show you my favourite. I love this. You know, you've got this morning mist going on, and this, I want to say like this sprite or fae folk coming through on this boat. I think it's beautiful. I'm going to show you this card. I love, no, not that card. Wait for it. This card. This is my favourite card in the deck. I love this. Two of Cups. And you can see this like shape shifting entity or being. And then I just want to show you the upside down and the reflection. I love that. This speaks to me again of this work that I'm doing. It resonates for me, this work I'm doing this month with the Dark Passenger and the Inner Child. It's like two sides of this same coin, two sides of this shapeshifter. Oh, it's just, honestly, it really speaks to me. I love that. So yes, I feel this one specifically is definitely going to be coming out this month. I really like the artwork in this one, but I don't think this one's going to come out this month. However, saying that, I do wonder if it's going to pair nicely with the what's it called? Do Not Be Afraid Oracle. It's got like this kind of angelic vibe again for me going on in this deck. I don't know. I'm intrigued. These are the two cards that I got out when I asked the deck what the message was that it had for me. And this person in the Eight of Swords actually looks quite happy. They look like they are, you know, I tend to feel that the Eight of Swords is like being trapped and stuck and stagnant and, you know, not being able to see your own way out. But this to me feels like this person's got all their ducks in a row. They feel like they are totally in control of the situation, and they, you know, they know where the exit is and they are willing to take the exit. Just waiting for the right moment. Does that not feel like it? And I like this, that these were both the cards that I pulled when I asked the deck what the message was for me, and they're like, it's like a mirror reflection. You know, the way they're sitting, they've got their hands in their lap, they're sitting on like this. This one's sitting on the throne, and this one feels like it's, you know, they're just like their body language is a reflection of each other. Love it, love it. And I love this. Look at this, the Deceiver. Nom nom nom. Love me a good devil card. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop. Yeah, I'm just going to stop because it's suddenly turned into a long video. But just know that I'm really happy that I managed to get my hands on these two, which I'd never had never come across me, I had never stumbled upon them on my path previously. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to chill because I'm you know, I've got a bit squiffy, got a bit squirrel-like. We're done. I'm going to thank you so much for spending some time with me. What say you? Let me know. Have you got any second-hand decks into your collection recently? Let me know what they are. Let me know what the animal was in the Tisma deck if you know. Hopefully I'll have googled it by now and hopefully found out and we'll know, be a bit more be a bit more wiser. Otherwise, I'm going to thank you so much for spending some time with me and hanging out with me. I'm going to wish you a lovely morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are, and yeah, I really hope to see you in the next video.